In this video, all of your questions regarding Cantarella will be answered. Cantarella is going to be the new 5-star Havoc character, and she will be a Rectifier user. She will be releasing in the first half of the patch 2.2, along with Camellia Rerun, and Shorekeeper will have a rerun in the second half. So it's clear that patch 2.2 can easily make our wallets empty. Version 2.2 is expected to release in the last week of March, so we still have a little time left. Many people are not happy with Cantarella's character design, especially people from other games are saying that this character is an absolute goonbait. Call me what you want, but this character design is another masterpiece from Kuro. Make sure to let me know about your thoughts in the comment section. I know you guys are not here for her character design reviews, so let's get started with our guide video. These are the materials you will need for Cantarella. This image is not mine. I took this image from Havoc Waves. Now, let me give you a general overview of her kit. She is able to perform decent amount of damage. She will be able to heal your whole team. She also has a special state during which she will be able to deal more damage. Cantarella can also deal coordinated attacks. She can slow down enemies, and she also have very supportive outro skill. She seems like an all-in-one package. She can be used in your sub-DPS slot. And guys, please keep in mind that this information is always subject to change. It's all based on speculations. Don't plan your pulls according to my video. This is just an overall guide to give a basic idea about the character and to help you pre-farm. Remember that characters go through changes before the official release. Let's start off with her skill first. If she uses her skill without her special state, she will deal some damage and her skill will be replaced by an enhanced skill during her special Fortay state, but I will discuss it later in video. Her Resonance Liberation will deal massive amount of damage, which will be considered as Echo skill, and when the on-field Resonator deals damage, it summons Jelly Dreamweavers, which will do coordinated attacks dealing Havoc damage. The coordinated attacks will be considered as basic attack damage. This effect lasts for 30 seconds or when a limit of 21 Jelly Dreamweavers has been reached. Now let's talk about her Fortay gauge. Her Fortay meter will be called as Trance. She will be able to hold 5 Trance. You will be able to gather 1 Trance through her intro, skill, or basic attack 3, and you can get 2 Trance from her Resonance Liberation. If she has any amount of Trance, she will be able to enter her Fortay state, known as Mirage, by using her heavy attack. When she is in her Fortay state, her basic attack, skill, and aerial attack will get enhanced. This special state will last for 8 seconds and ends when all Trance are consumed. When she uses her enhanced basic attacks, she will recover 1 tremor and heal all allies. When 3 tremors are gathered, her skill is enhanced. This new skill will deal Havoc damage, and it will also slow down the enemy's hit. This effect is called the Hazy Dream, and it will last for 6.5 seconds. When the target takes damage, Startlement is triggered, removing Hazy Dream to deal Havoc damage, and this skill will be counted as an Echo skill. There is also a passive skill in her Fortay, which is called the Abyssal Rebirth. After casting an intro skill, she will gain 5 Concerto energy, and whenever an ally uses an Echo skill, Cantarella will gain 5 Concerto energy, which can be triggered up to 4 times in 25 seconds, and her Fortay skill will also help her in gaining Concerto energy. Her intro skill will deal Havoc damage, and if she is in her Fortay state, she will deal even more damage. When she uses her outro skill, the next Resonator's damage is increased by 20%, and skill damage is increased by 25%. Now let's discuss about her inherent skills. Her inherent skill 1 will increase her healing bonus by 20%. Her inherent skill 2 will increase the Havoc damage bonus by 6% when she uses her Echo skill. It will last for 10 seconds and it can be used up to 2 times. Now let's go through her sequences. Sequence 1 will increase all the damage multipliers of her skills, and she will also regenerate extra Trance from her skill. With Sequence 2, she will be able to apply Hazy Dream when she uses her Resonance Liberation, and Startlement multiplier is also increased. Sequence 3 will increase the damage from the Resonance Liberation by 180%. Sequence 4 will increase her healing bonus during her Fortay state by 25%. Sequence 5 will increase the amount of Jelly Dreamweavers summoned by 5. Sequence 6 will increase the basic attack multiplier during her Fortay state. Her ult will ignore 30% of the defense for 30 seconds, and the Hazy Dream will now freeze the enemies. Now let's move on to her best weapon options. Her signature weapon will obviously be her best in slot. It has 413 base attack, and it will give 72% crit damage to Cantarella. Its passive will give 12% attack and other damage amplifications according to a stack system. Within 10 seconds of casting the intro skill, casting the Echo skill will give 1 stack of Soft Dream. The same echo can only be triggered once and can be stacked up to 3 layers. It lasts for 10 seconds, and if you switch to another character, the effect ends early. With 1 stack, normal attack, damage is increased by 40%. 2 stacks will allow her to ignore the target's 10% Havoc resistance. Layer 3. When Soft Dream ends early, your own normal attack damage bonus increases by 40%, ignoring the target's 10% Havoc resistance, lasting 27 seconds. If you switch to yourself, the effect ends early. Keep in mind that this information may vary depending on your source, so keep yourself updated in the future. You can also use the standard weapon on her as an alternative, called the Cosmic Ripples. It will increase her attack, basic attack damage, and energy regeneration. The basic attack damage will be very useful for increasing her damage. It will give her 54% attack. Its passive increases energy regeneration by 12.8%. When dealing basic attack damage, increases basic attack damage bonus by 3.2%, stacking up to 5 times. This effect lasts for 8 seconds and can be triggered 1 time every 0.5 seconds. Yinlin's weapon can also be used on her because of the massive amount of crit rate you will be able to get from this weapon. Unlike any other weapon, it gives 36% crit rate. Its passive grants 12% attribute damage bonus. When dealing resonant skill damage, increases attack by 12%, stacking up to 2 times. This effect lasts for 5 seconds. When the wielder is not on the field, increases their attack by an additional 12%. You can also use Jaycee's weapon, but I don't think most of you will be willing to use on her, so I will not go through this weapon. For her best 4-star weapon, you can use the Augment, as it will increase her attack and crit rate. This weapon will give her 20% crit rate, and its passive will increase her attack by 15%, lasting for 15 seconds when she uses her Resonance Liberation. As an alternative, you can use other weapons with attack stats if you don't have the Augment. Let's move on to her best main stats. For 4-cost echo use, crit rate, or crit damage, according to your need. For both 3-cost slots, use Havoc damage. For both 1-cost slots, use attack percent. If you want to build her as a support, you can use healing bonus, HP accordingly. For her best substats, you can use crit rate, crit damage, basic attack damage, and attack percent. For her best echo set, you can use the Midnight Veil set. Its 2-piece set will increase her Havoc damage by 10%. Its 5-piece set says that when outro skill is triggered, she will deal additional 480% Havoc damage to surrounding enemies, considered outro skill damage, and grant the incoming resonator 15% Havoc damage bonus for 15 seconds. So this set will basically buff her outro skill by a lot. You can also use the Sun Sinking set. Its 2-piece set increases Havoc damage by 10%. Its 5-piece set increases Havoc damage by 7.5% after releasing basic attack or heavy attack. This effect stacks up to 4 times. Each stack lasts 15 seconds. For her best team, you can use her with Camellia and Rochia. Camellia will act as the main DPS of this team. Rochia and Cantarella both have supportive outro skills to increase overall damage of the team. Rochia's outro skill will be more suited to Camellia, because it will increase Havoc and basic attack damage. Rochia will also play a major role in gathering the enemies by pulling them together through her magic box. She can also buff the attack percent of the whole team, which will increase her team's damage output. Cantarella will act as a support, sub-DPS hybrid offering healing, coordinated attacks, and slowing down enemies. To make this team more free-to-play friendly, you can use the Havoc Rover instead of Camellia. Due to the supportive capabilities of Cantarella, she is use-able in most of teams, so don't stay restricted to Havoc teams only. The only thing you will be missing out will be her outro Havoc damage buff in other teams. If you are going to use a non-Havoc DPS with her, just make sure that you don't use Midnight Veil set on Cantarella, as its outro buff will not be usable. You can use the Havoc Eclipse, Rejuvenating set, or the Moonlit set in this kind of situation. You can choose any set based on your needs and stats you already have on these sets. You will still be getting the coordinated attack, enemies slow down, and healing. Many sources claim that she is a dedicated support or sub-DPS for Frolova, but we still can't be sure about anything as it's all based on speculation, so use your polls wisely. This was my longest guide yet. Hopefully you all liked it. Please support the channel if you want more in-depth guides in the future. Peace out.